a little something like
Hello everyone and welcome back to a Star Stable video. So today I have a special video for everybody. And I cannot wait to start it. It's my writing, so it's the span of writing. So let's just get into the video because I don't know how long this is gonna be. It might be a short, it might be a longer video. So I just wanted to get started as soon as possible. So the first time I have in my mom's camera roll of me riding a horse is when I was like really young. I was in one of those circle things where the horses walk in circles. And that was the first time that I ever rode a horse. I don't have any face photos of me, but I think I was happy. I should have been happy. I mean, who wouldn't be happy? Oh God. Anyways, we have my next, like, what the heck is happening with my fingers today? We have the next video. We have a video. So that video is the first time I've ever ridden, one of the first times I've ever ridden a horse without a lead. So, that's fun. Wait, no. I have videos leading up to that. I just don't know where they are. But I was trotting at that point. This is like a while. I don't even know when I started horseback riding anymore. All I know is that it just took a bit of coaxing from my mom. But I do remember the first time I ever rode a horse, the first horse that I literally rode, like not just for like one of those like carnival rides, was actually Rainbow, and he was stubborn, he was old, and he has now since passed away from my barn, but that's okay because they have a little flower pot being held up by his halter, so that's pretty nice, and it's nice of that to be there. But I don't know what happened. I hadn't been riding for a while. I think like I had stopped for like a little bit. It was just, yeah, okay. He just died, and that's kind of sad because he was like the first horse that I ever rode, and I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with him. And now, when I first started riding, Dylan, they offered for me to lease Dylan, and my parents were like, no, I don't think we're going to do that just because it's kind of like, I don't know if she's going to continue doing this. We don't know if she's going to continue being a horseback rider, or if this is just going to be like one of those, a phase. And so we didn't lease him, and that happened. But Dylan is very calm. I love Dylan. He's perfect in every way, shape, and form. And then here we have Dudley. Now Dudley, he's my trainer's horse, and this was like one of the first times that I've ever ridden him. But Dudley, he's a paint, I think. It's not really that. He's a chestnut, but he is my trainer's horse, and I've only ridden him. I've ridden him a couple times. I know I've ridden him for different things. Let me think. I've ridden him for some clinics. I've ridden him in a show, and you'll see that video. It's pretty funny. And then here's one of my jumps. I think that was like only 1 foot. It wasn't a big jump at all, but I don't know. I was still wary of jumping at that point. I wasn't used to it, and I was still wary of it, so I didn't do a lot of jumps at that time. I was just kind of still working on flat work. We always do like flat work in the beginning, just because flat work is good for the horse and for the rider especially. Anyways, moving on to the next photo video. Now here's me. As you can see, like I said, I was skittish of jumping. I was actually scared of jumping. So there's my 2-point. So the next photo is me actually riding Shiloh, and you guys don't know this, but he is a very special horse to me because he's the one I ride now, and I know that I was riding him for a little bit, and then like I stopped riding him for a while. I went back to like Dudley and Dylan, and then I got back onto riding him, and I'll explain more, but I was terrified. but that's me riding him right there, and I was young. And then here's me on a lunge line. I think this is Dylan. Here's me on a lunge line with Dylan. I think that this was during a Sunday. I normally have my riding during a Saturday, but I think this might have been a Sunday. Oh god, I went the wrong way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a Sunday that I read him. Wait, what was that? Did I canter? Yeah, so that was me cantering. I started cantering in 2018 and I started riding in 2018. So I was getting progress on this a little bit. Obviously, there's like some lessons in between this where I was learning, so. But I wouldn't canter off a lunge line yet. I was still on a lunge line at this point. And I think the only reason that I really got into riding was because when I was really young, I had a stroke. And so I think I don't know why we were trying to do that to help fix my stroke or something. And anyways, I think here's me on a lunge line again cantering. I'm not too sure. Yeah. So this is like one of the second or third times that I had been cantering for a while. I couldn't keep him going. I could not keep him going at that canter. And then this was the first time, I think, one of the first times that I was ever outside of a pen or an area where like it was safe and the horse couldn't get away if it spooked. So I wasn't actually a paddock, so I guess that's still fenced in, but it was more open and more like wild, I guess. But yeah, I guess it was just like more open, more wild, so I really couldn't like go far. They do have like electric fencing, so like the horses knew to stay away from the edge. And then here's me at a camp that I went to. So I went to this camp like in 2018 again, where it was just a camp, and one of the horses in here, one of the horses that was in my camp actually moved to my barn. So I got to ride him a little bit more, and it was actually kind of fun, but you'll see him later on in the video. Now continuing on to the next photo, here is me jumping, like doing a cross. It wasn't really jumping, it was like trotting a cross rail on Dudley. So that's a very long video, so I'm only gonna put that clip in it. But there was me jumping Dudley. I did jump him a couple times, like without my trainer's permission. Oh, obviously like a shorter jump. Like it wasn't that big of a jump, like obvious. Like I couldn't really jump that big anyways. But it was obviously, I'm just gonna ditch this animal. It wasn't a big jump at all. It was a tiny jump. It was around Thanksgiving time, I remember. And then here's me at my first horse show. You have to listen to the end of this. This was actually the first time that I ever fell off. So you kind of have to listen to this one. I actually got on the wrong lead there, and so I had to stop and start cantering again. And then, as you can see, I fall off, and my mom makes the funniest noise at the end. And now this is Lainey, and I've ridden her. This was the first time I rode her. This was the first time I rode her in a show, which is not the best. But she was very speedy. She would not stop cantering. Like, it was like, she would trot, go over the jump because I had to slow her down, and she would trot, and then she would canter. And then it was like kind of like I was trying to get her to slow down. Wouldn't slow down whatsoever. And then here's the horse that I was talking about that was in my camp. And this is actually Mystic, and he's a pony who still lives at my barn. All these horses except Rainbow are still alive, so that's good. But this is Mystic, and I actually rode him a couple times at that camp, and I remember that I was like, do you guys have any white horses here? Because my barn didn't have any quote-unquote white horses, which is like basically a flea-bitten horse. They were like, no, but we have a flea bitten. I was like, what's a flea bitten? And they're like, yeah, it's like what you call a white horse. It's just a flea bitten. Like all white horses are flea bitten. I was like, oh. Well, anyways, I rode him a couple times before this, so I was actually pretty surprised to find him at my barn. And then this is Shiloh. He kind of bucked me right there. Yeah, he kind of bucked me on that, and that was kind of scary. I don't know why he bucked me. This is off topic, but here's me riding a camel, so that showed up in horses, because, you know, riding a camel's a horse, right? That is thoroughly a joke. Please get the joke. But that's me riding a camel. This was in 2019, so now we're on to 2019. And then here's me looking very, very spicy, going through some the fire. Dudley had been to like a police clinic thing before this, so he was pretty used to like this type of stuff. So that's why I was riding him and not like another horse. I know that there was a Mustang there that did this. And we were training her. She is long gone now. She went off to another owner. And then here's Commander. Now Commander, he is a Clydesdale. He's actually short for a Clydesdale. He's not one of the biggest horses at our barn. One of the biggest horses at our barn is Cairo. He's like, I think 17 or 18 hands. I'm not too sure. But he is tall. Like, he doesn't look tall from a distance, but he is tall. But Commander is actually my mom's favorite horse. But Commander, he's a good horse. This was like, I've only ridden him actually, like, I've actually only ridden him a couple times. But he's actually, like, smaller than your average Clydesdale that you'd see, like, the Budweiser Clydesdales. Anyways, this is me. It was actually snowing, and I was on Dudley. So we went outside a little bit. We were inside, and then my trainer decided for me to go outside. So I went outside. It was actually pretty fun. And then here's after my lesson. That was how snowy it was. It was very snowy, like the snow, like, and where I live, I don't get a lot of snow. So when like it snows like that, you're excited. And then here's me like jumping, like, I don't even think this was 1 foot yet. But yeah, I was cantering that. I don't think that, yeah, it wasn't even 1 foot. I mean, it wasn't even 2 foot. Anyways, on to the next one. So that's me at a show. That was my second show that I have ever been to. And that is Dylan again. Dylan is one of my, I'm sorry, okay, Dylan is one of my most favorite horses, like, of all time. Because he's just so relaxed and calm that, like, you could take him anywhere and he's fine. And then this is me on Shiloh, where he kind of brought me over that one. I know that when I first started riding Shiloh again, now this is in 2020, so this is like when I first kind of started riding Shiloh again. So he actually, I was terrified to even start cantering, trotting on him, because he was very, very fast. Like, unbelievably fast. He was a speedy horse. And Shiloh is actually a quarter horse Percheron mix, but you don't really see the Percheron in him, but he is, apparently. And so next photo that we have, or video, is this photo. Now this was at like a reindeer games thing for Christmas. No, it wasn't actually. This was just like one of those, I guess, a show thing that my barn had, and people came to it. It was actually kind of fun. So this was one of the first, yeah, I only started jumping 2-3 the day before. So that's me jumping 2-3 right there. And then now we're on to this. Now I was like carrying like these balls, like these snowballs, because this was during December, so 2020 December. And I was carrying these things, and you had to throw them in hoops. And so I kept missing, but we ended up winning anyways because the overall points totaled. But yeah, you had to canter around, and you had to like throw the balls into the hoops, and I was really bad at that. And then here's Zach. Now Zach, He is also a pony. My outfit had actually been coordinated well that day. But that's Zach. He's a pony. I've only actually, same thing, ridden him only a couple times. Now we're now in 2021 in May. Can't believe that was May. Oh god. I still can't believe that was only May. Anyways. Oh god, okay, so now we're coming up on our last picture. Now this was from today, and this is Shiloh, and Shiloh has taught me so much through my career. Not career, but through my riding. He has taught me so much, and I cannot thank the horse enough for teaching me all this, because, you know, why not? He's an amazing horse, and he was kind of hard at first. He was pulled his head down, tug it up, do anything, and to get me to not hold the reins. But that was from today, and now we don't know what the future holds for my riding. I may do another one of these in a couple years from now if I still have my YouTube channel. But yeah, if we don't know the future of my riding, and I may stop, I may continue, I may go to the Olympics. That's kind of a stretch, but it's not false. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!